Hello on Max TV. These crazy battles caught on camera will show the real wild nature without censorship. Lions, tigers, crocodiles, and other predators face off in duels for survival. Unique footage full of strength, adrenaline, and the true brutality of wildlife. Watch till the end because this is something you don't see every day. An incredible drama unfolded on the banks of the Luangwa River. A lion cub got stuck on a steep riverbank teeming with crocodiles, and just look, crocodiles are jumping out one after another trying to catch their prey. The lion cub was lucky for a while, but in the end the crocodile proved quicker and the little one disappears into the murky river water. A leopard lay hidden, watching the carefree grazing wildebeests. Waiting for the perfect moment, it suddenly sprang from its spot and charged at incredible speed. The prey didn't even have time to realize what was happening. The predator instantly caught up, clamped its powerful jaws around its throat, and forced it to the ground. Lionesses with cubs decide to cross a crocodile-infested river. The three cubs were the first to run into the water carelessly, and the crocodile's attack didn't take long. The lionesses immediately rushed to defend them, biting the toothy reptile furiously, but it didn't help. One of the cubs was still dragged away. At night, a coyote jumps over a fence and immediately attacks a domestic goose. Jumping back over with such a large prey isn't easy, and that pause proved crucial. A big guard dog came running to help. The goose escaped successfully, and after a brief scuffle, the coyote managed to get away. A duck with ducklings swam into a very dangerous area. A large fish attacked the last baby. Somehow it managed to break free and resurface, but the second strike ended the hunt. At night, a family of elephants came to a lake to drink. Suddenly, a crocodile leapt from the water and grabbed one of the giants by the trunk. With incredible strength, the elephant hurled it onto the shore, forcing the predator to let go. Terrified, the elephants fled, and the crocodile crawled back into the water empty-handed. A flock of caracaras takes to the sky, and the raid begins. These predatory birds act in perfect coordination like an airborne assault team. They swiftly attack penguin nests, mercilessly destroying the eggs. The poor parents have no chance to save their offspring. And here's the world's smartest stingray. To escape a shark attack, it first skillfully leapt out of the water and then quickly hid under a boat. I think the shark was in shock. At first, the fox calmly surveys the area, but suddenly a falcon appears from the sky. It dives straight at her at incredible speed. The animal is stunned. This isn't a hunt, it's a real territorial war. Luckily, she managed to dodge and escape. The Galapagos sea lions use clever teamwork to trap fish in a hidden cove. Thanks to their coordination, the ocean turns into a trap, leaving the prey with no chance. And from above, cunning pelicans watch the scene, and they won't be left without a meal either. A heron got into trouble. It became tangled in a fishing line hanging from a tree right above the water. From the depths, a crocodile slowly approaches. Suddenly, a powerful lunge upward, a splash, a snap of jaws. After several attempts, it finally catches the heron and drags it underwater. Like a nightmare, but this is real. A real drama unfolded in a backyard. A coyote attacked a family of raccoons. The mother and one baby managed to climb onto the fence, but the other was left below. The predator grabbed the little one and dragged it away, despite the mother's desperate attempts to catch up. A tragic and brutal scene. Behind a fence, 7 huskies loudly barked at a lone Labrador. Suddenly, one stretched out a paw to strike, and the Labrador instantly bit it. The panic and yelping of the huskies turned a serious scuffle into a comical scene. In the evening, this cat went out hunting and never expected to become prey itself. From the air, a hawk attacked it at full speed, and the super agile cat didn't even have time to react. How it all ended is unclear, but the hawk clearly had no intention of letting its catch go. A mother duck on the verge of despair, she rushes to attack a hungry predator that decided to grab her ducklings. Despite the difference in size and strength, she, with wings, cries, and desperate bravery, stands in the hawk's way. The predator retreats, and that's a true act of maternal courage. A pack of furious dogs attacks a horse right in the middle of the street. The panicked animal thrashes around, trying to fend off the toothy assault, chaos all around. Thankfully, a person ran over to help and chased the aggressors away. Sometimes real drama unfolds right in the city center. A tiger attacked a large wild boar, locking its powerful jaws around the boar's neck. The moment doesn't last long. The tiger tries to bring the boar down, but the prey fights back desperately. It seems the boar has little chance of survival. I don't know where the mother duck is, but a crow successfully attacked and carried off one duckling. A very sad scene. A mother duck tried to save her duckling who was being swept away by a wave into the seal. But suddenly, a coyote appeared from behind, grabbed the baby, and immediately devoured it. The poor mother was left helpless. A random witness managed to capture shocking footage. A hungry coyote attacked a squirrel. A very successful hunt. People turned on the camera a little late. The hawk was already holding an adult duck in its claws. It seemed everything was over. The hawk had already dug its talons in, and the duck was at its mercy, but at the last moment it broke free and, with desperate flapping of its wings, escaped into the saving water. An aggressive goose suddenly attacks a kitten, but today's hero is a brave rooster who instantly rushes into the frame and drives the attacker away. Then, adult cats arrive, the whole family together to protect the baby. A true drama and a heroic act. That rooster deserves a standing ovation. At night, a python silently creeps up to ducks resting on the shore and suddenly attacks. It instantly grabs one of the birds, drags it into the water, and within seconds, dead silence reigns on the surface again. A perfect hunt under the cover of night. And this clever bald eagle uses the road to transport a large opossum since it's too heavy for him to fly over the trees. In search of safety, the seal swam up to a boat with people. They realized a great white shark was chasing it. Unfortunately, the boat's cover didn't help, and the seal quickly disappeared into the depths inside the predator's jaws. A horrifying scene unfolded in a pine tree. A snake, resembling a python, was climbing up the trunk. A mother squirrel tried to drive it away with bites, but the predator sensed the babies in the nest. Within seconds, it pulled one out and clamped it in its jaws. There was no escape for the little one. The owner, horrified, films her cat dragging another live snake into the house. Just yesterday he brought one in, and now another catch. A funny and shocking hunter in one furry package. Right in front of people, a giant hawk attacked ducklings and tried to grab two at once with its claws. But no, it only caught one, although the plan was quite cunning. In this moment, a small cheeky dog bit a big one on the nose first, but when the big one fought back, the little guy immediately started a real panic. The girl had to save him, though he got exactly what he deserved. Two massive hippos clash in a furious battle right in the middle of the road. Each is determined, they slam their enormous jaws against each other, and one looks clearly stronger. This is a real duel of titans where neither wants to yield. A foolish wolf attacked the wrong herd of yaks. They started to stomp and gore him with their horns. The wolf clearly regretted tangling with such a crazy herd, but he found the last of his strength to stand up and escape. Looking for easy prey, a grizzly bear decided to attack a herd of cows. He hadn't even chosen a target yet when the cows grouped together and began chasing the predator. The bear was clearly frightened. He decided to run away and not mess with them. The yard dog decided to threaten the black cat and barked loudly. He became bolder and came closer and closer. But as soon as the cat stepped forward, the brave one immediately turned around and ran away with a squeal. A funny little coward took off running. A fluffy brown hyena unexpectedly came face to face with a leopard. The predator lunged at her, knocked her down, and bit her several times, showing his superiority. But he didn't eat her, he just let her go, and the stunned hyena hurried to hide. Next comes a real nighttime thriller in the wild. Like a shadow, a puma stalks a poor black cat. The cat tries to escape, climbs up a tree, but the predator doesn't give up. One precise leap and the hunt ends in favor of the puma. A moment later, and the prey is in her jaws. A lightning-fast attack from the skies. A hawk dives straight at the chicks. The mother hen panics and rushes into battle, desperately trying to protect her little ones. The recording quality is poor, so whether the predator carried off one of the chicks remains a mystery. This shark hunts in a way you've definitely never seen before. Instead of grabbing its prey with its jaws, the thresher shark speeds through a school of fish and, with a powerful strike of its tail, stuns several at once. This method works with amazing precision. The stunned fish have no idea where to swim, and the predator calmly chooses which one to swallow. This isn't just hunting, it's a true strategic maneuver in nature. A cunning shark pinned a fish against the shore, clearly thinking this prey couldn't escape, but as you can see, the pelican turned out to be even smarter. Spotting a crocodile, the tiger didn't hesitate for a second. It lunged straight at it. A burst of splashes, roars, and struggle. The tiger grabs the reptile by the neck and drags it out of the water, showing superhuman strength. The crocodile thrashes and writhes, but the tiger has already decided tonight he'll be dining on crocodile meat. A cheetah, reaching incredible speed, charges straight at an unsuspecting antelope. In an instant, it catches up and locks its jaws on the antelope's neck, trying to bring it down. It seems the antelope has no chance, but miraculously, at the last moment, it breaks free and escapes. A curious, medium-sized hippopotamus came right up to a lioness, not realizing who was in front of him. But the predator suddenly jumped up and another lioness joined her. The two lionesses rushed at the hippo from behind, and he quickly realized the danger, quickly retreating back into the water. The lionesses attacked a huge herd of wildebeest crossing the river. One predator broke ahead and chased after the prey. The antelope jumped into the water, but the lioness didn't lag behind and drove her to the shore. The chase continued in the bushes, and finally, the lioness grabbed her victim by the neck and brought her down. During an attack on a buffalo calf, the mother rushes at the lions with furious determination, driving the predators away with powerful blows of her horns. One by one, the lions retreat. This mother does not give up. Thanks to her bravery, the baby manages to survive. A true victory of maternal strength. Fleeing from a pack of hungry African wild dogs, this antelope ran into a swamp where it immediately became prey to a crocodile. The toothy reptile wasn't very large, so it struggled to overpower the antelope, but it chased her down with every escape attempt, attacking again and again. The antelope turned out to be lucky. Miraculously, she managed to get out of the water alive. Just look at the cunning of this leopard. It set an ambush among rocks under a steep bank right next to an antelope watering hole. It blended perfectly into the surroundings, and the hoofed animals didn't notice it at all. The predator didn't rush to attack and quietly waited for the perfect moment. When the antelope got right next to it, the leopard calmly and swiftly took it down without any chase. A lioness bursts into a large herd of wildebeests and zebras, quickly choosing a fairly large antelope and grabs it by the neck. The struggle doesn't last long. The predator swiftly drags her prey into the bushes. The tourists stopped to photograph the sunrise when they suddenly noticed a giraffe. It seemed like an ordinary morning, but the next moment they saw lions, one on the left, one on the right, and a huge male hanging onto the giraffe's back. In that instant, it became clear the lions were launching a serious attack. The giraffe bolted toward the road, but the people were horrified to see its front left leg was broken. There's almost no hope left. After a fierce fight with an aggressive rival, a young waterbuck sees refuge in the water, but there, an even greater danger awaits. A crocodile bursts out of the depths and grabs its prey. A desperate struggle for life begins. Miraculously, the antelope manages to break free and reach the shore, but there, its old rival is already waiting. He drives the weakened male back into the water, straight into the crocodile's jaws. Will he survive a second time? The tension rises, but I think he escaped. I don't know what that foolish cat was thinking, attacking such a huge cobra, but when it struck back, the cat quickly realized this was way out of his league. The shepherd was in shock. A crazed bear attacked his flock. Holding one sheep in its paws, the bear ignored both the dogs and the man, continuing to tear into its prey. At some point, the shouting and barking finally got to it. The bear released the sheep and ran off into the forest. In the field, gray cranes built a nest right among the grass. When a flock of sheep approached the eggs, the birds spread their wings and boldly went on the attack. To everyone's surprise, the sheep retreated and the nest remained safe. On an African road, two zebras started fighting right in the middle of the path, but in the heat of the battle, a lion crept up to them and suddenly attacked. He knocked one of the zebras to the ground, and she no longer had any chance of survival. A jaguar snuck up on a crocodile underwater and successfully attacked the small reptile. Before the amazed tourist's eyes, the predator dragged its prey onto the shore. A foolish monkey slightly misjudged the distance and splashed down hard from a great height. The wild doesn't forgive such mistakes, and after the injury, a hungry hyena quickly carried it away. A heron grabbed a snake and was about to swallow it, but the snake wasn't one to give up easily. In a desperate attempt to save itself, it coiled around the predator's neck, turning the hunt into a fight for survival. Who will win remains unclear until the very end. A trail camera captured a lynx wandering among the rocks. When birds flew over her, the predator leapt almost 3 meters into the air and struck her prey down with a swipe of her paw. Incredible reaction and agility. A pride of lions suddenly charges at a herd of buffalo. Chaos erupts. The predators seize the smallest one, and despite the adults' desperate attempts to fend off the attack, the dust, roars, and panic make coordination impossible. Nature is cruel, and even a strong herd can't always protect the weak. And here's just a beautiful winter puma attack on a guanaco. The predator succeeded. Surrounded by lionesses, this wildebeest didn't resist for long. The predator quickly forces its prey to the ground. A man was filming a harmless hare in the grass from his house window, but suddenly a hawk swooped down from above and attacked in a flash. Rare and shocking footage, the predatory bird lifted its prey in its claws and carried it away. In this moment, you'll see baboons rescuing an antelope. Why do you think baboons help these hoofed animals? Interactions between baboons and antelopes or other ungulates has long been observed, all for mutual safety. Antelopes have keen senses, and when they start to flee, that's a signal to be alert. The antelope's sharp sense of smell and the baboon's excellent vision provide shared protection. So defending antelopes from predators is very beneficial for the monkeys. In return, they can calmly go about their baboon business while the antelopes stand guard. And now you'll see very funny koala fights. These cute, almost toy-like animals can also scream and make strange noises, as well as scratch and bite each other. And this is how koalas divide territory. If you see a koala trying to pull another one off a tree, that's not a male fight. It's the way the male educates his mate. He chases her off the tree to prove who's the boss in the family.
Goodness.
A lone buffalo found itself in the water face to face with an enraged lion. It fought back fiercely, striking with its horns, but it was clear its strength was fading. Then the buffalo began to bellow loudly, calling for help. Seconds felt like an eternity, and suddenly, a herd appeared from the trees. Its kin charged into the fight, and the lion, panicking, retreated. The exhausted buffalo was saved. An elephant was crossing a river when a crocodile attacked him. The reptile grabbed his neck, but the difference in strength was too great. The elephant calmly walked onto the shore unharmed, and the crocodile was left with nothing. Another sudden appearance of a leopard inside a house, and just a second later, it's holding a dog in its jaws. Next, an entire lion pride against one poor buffalo that got separated from its herd. The buffalo didn't plan to give up and even tried to fight back. He turned out to be smart, decided to trick the lions, and swam to the other side. That's how he saved himself from certain death. A pack of hyenas surrounded a buffalo mother and her calf. The mother desperately tries to protect her baby, but in her attempt to save him, she only makes things worse. She tosses him with her horns, and after that, he can't get up. A tragic moment when nature shows its cruel side. It turns out that not only jaguars can hunt crocodiles, tigers are quite capable of it too. In this scene, the tiger tormented the poor reptile for a long time, and in the end, it became clear that the crocodile was defeated. A lioness hid in the tall grass, knowing even the slightest movement could give her away. Moments of silence, then suddenly a sharp leap. The predator bursts from her hiding place and sinks her teeth into her prey. The wildebeest tries to break free, but the attack is too precise and fast. A jackal silently sneaks up, freezes for a second, and then lunges forward lightning fast. The birds panic and take off, but one doesn't make it. All this happens right before the eyes of wildlife photographers who barely manage to grab their cameras. A pod of killer whales spotted a lonely seal on an ice floe. The predators began circling around, splashing water, and trying to knock him into the ocean. The seal desperately clung to the ice, but eventually disappeared under the onslaught of the orcas. A brutal hunting scene. Rare footage: a large lynx encountered 4 Tibetan mastiffs at once. The dogs took turns trying to attack, but the predator proved stronger. In the end, the lynx bit one of them, and the dogs quickly cooled down. The fisherman definitely didn't expect such drama to unfold right in front of his fishing rods. A crocodile attacked a turtle. The prey tried to escape, but that definitely wasn't going to happen.
Really?
Next, a funny episode with a turtle and some cows, which you may have already seen, but it's so amusing that it's worth watching again. The first bite on the nose went to the white cow, who jumped back in fright and ran off. Then the bravest one turned out to be a little calf, and he didn't have to wait long for his bite on the nose. And those tourists managed to capture some kind of water battle. Later, it turned out the crocodile had attacked the tiger, but it managed to escape from the water unharmed. A hungry jackal wandered for a long time in search of food and finally decided to attack a swan. Picking the right target, it lunges, but the bird turned out to be very strong, and the swan easily broke free and escaped into the water. This prey was clearly out of the jackal's league. You can see how a lioness caught a small warthog, but she had no idea how brave and reckless he would turn out to be. After she released him, he didn't run away. Instead, he decided to teach the lioness a lesson and show her she picked the wrong target. The lioness was definitely shocked. She didn't expect such audacity, and after another pig attack, she just ran away. Lionesses chase a buffalo mother with her calf, hoping to quickly finish off their prey, but the buffalo isn't the timid type. She actually decides to strike first and goes on the counterattack. This moment shows that a mother's love can be stronger than fear, and she manages to drive the lioness away. For the hawk, this was probably the easiest prey in his life. He was calmly sitting by the roadside when a rodent crawled right up to him and ended up in the bird's claws. The hawk effortlessly carried the prey to his nest. Incredible footage: a giant otter grabbed a small crocodile and dragged it away. It turns out these animals can hunt even such dangerous reptiles. 2 antelopes suddenly found themselves face to face with 3 cheetahs. A real survival game begins right here and now. The predators line up for an attack, and in a lightning-fast dash, one of the antelopes ends up in their claws. And this is definitely the unluckiest African warthog. Trying to escape a pack of wild dogs, it got too close to a river full of crocodiles. The toothy attack didn't take long, and the crocodile quickly dragged the pig underwater. The warthog simply had no way out. Such are the harsh laws of the wild. The eagle is in no hurry with its meal. It calmly holds the duck in its claws, occasionally pecking at its prey. This squirrel is clearly not in the mood today. Right on a man's porch, it jumped on him, making him perform a real dance of fear. Shaking off the furry aggressor wasn't easy, but when he finally did, the squirrel immediately switched targets to his dog. Despite the obvious difference in size, a wolf suddenly emerged from the forest and attacked a moose standing in shallow water. A long fight ensued. The moose fended off the wolf's attacks while trying to strike back with its hooves. Nevertheless, the predator managed to get close and bite its leg. After a few minutes, the moose managed to break free. In the end, it reached deeper water where the exhausted predator didn't dare to follow. An army of ants enters a desperate battle with a giant spider that has invaded their territory. Despite the size of the enemy, the ants cling to it from all sides, but it simply crushes them with its jaws. I think the spider is after the larvae, and I'm sure it won't stop. This is a clash between a hippopotamus and a rhinoceros that took place in one of the water holes of a South African reserve. Angered by the rhino's stubbornness, the hippo first growled threateningly, then tried to drive it away from the water. After several failed attempts to chase away its rival, the hippo charged into the water, knocked the rhino off its feet, and began biting it with its enormous jaws. At the zoo, a serval decided to play a prank on a big pig and lightly bit her from behind. But the pig didn't panic. She just sat down on the cheeky cat with her full weight. A truly hilarious sight. A foolish girl started chasing a wild duck and accidentally stepped on a duckling. The mother duck didn't delay her punishment, and I think the girl got what she deserved. Cat attacks happen suddenly, one swift leap and it's over in seconds. These fluffballs are natural-born hunters.
Oh.